Passenger Seat Radio. It is March 23rd, 2026. You're on my 13-mile commute home. Welcome to the show. Well, I know it's been a little while. Last week was spring break in my house. I had some time off. I'll tell you about it. So yeah, there was no show. You didn't miss anything. I know it's strange, right? Sometimes people want to catch the show, but then I don't do one. And some of you don't want to watch it on YouTube. You want to podcatch it. So we do have a pod. I think it's called PodTubeMe or something like that. We do have a link that will provide you with a podcast or podcatchable version of the show. But it takes 24 hours. That's one of the limitations of the free version. You have to wait 24 hours, and you have to hope that I actually tag the show correctly when I'm stopped. So sometimes it's kind of a crapshoot whether or not you get to see the show. So anyway, so last week was spring break. Everyone in my house was off. I took 3 days off, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, just to be at home with my family. My wife and my son were both home from school, so that was kind of nice. And over the weekend, we had some time off. My wife and I, if you've watched this show for any length of time, you know that my wife and I like to go out and do interesting things at night, have a little nightlife, go out, spend time in hotels, just kind of, get around and do something interesting. What was that? Dang it. Oh, you made it on time. Hey, man, how's it going? It is Cereal Milk DD. You're lucky I'm at a red light, or I wouldn't have been able to acknowledge you. Yeah, welcome to the show. This is sort of a weird, long story, and I'm sure some of you will judge me, but listen, that hasn't ever stopped you before from judging me. So I've talked about this drag brunch that we go to every, 6 weeks or so. They have a drag brunch at the local Broadway theater, and we have a good time with it. And it's always there's always a couple of the same people. The hostess of the show is named Savannah Stevens. You can look her up if you want. And last time we were at the drag brunch, Savannah said that she was going to be a contestant on the Miss Phoenix Pride pageant. And listen, I've never been to a Pride pageant before, so I'm a slightly left-leaning guy. I'm comfortable in my own skin, so I thought, you know what, a pageant like this might actually be really freaking entertaining, right? The drag brunches turned out to be freaking awesome, so maybe this Pride pageant would be interesting too. So we told Savannah that we would come and cheer, right? We were going to come cheer for her. And I had no idea. We had no idea what to expect. So this was interesting. This was at the Tempe Arts. I can't remember the Tempe Arts Pavilion or some shit like that. This is a big deal in Tempe. It's actually on the city of Tempe's website. Go figure, right? So it's kind of a big deal, I guess. I mean, who'd have thunk it? But whatever. So my wife and I decided, we've never really been to downtown Tempe. I mean, we've lived here for 18 years, whatever the number is. We've lived here forever, and we really haven't been to downtown Tempe. There is an interesting nightlife that goes on down there. Lots of bars. There's college nearby, so there's a lot of shit to do late at night. So I thought it'd be fun. Let's get a nice hotel downtown, not some Motel 6 bullshit, but let's get a really nice hotel in downtown Tempe. And we'll stay there for a couple of nights. We'll stay there overnight Saturday, and then we'll have the pageant on Sunday, and then we'll stay overnight on Sunday, and then we'll go home on Monday, right? So we stayed at the Canopy, downtown Tempe. Very nice hotel. Recommended. They have a great like a loft bar. So you go up to the 14th floor and you literally sit and you get this beautiful view of downtown Tempe. It's on the 14th floor. It's perfect visibility. Recommended if you happen to be staying down there, you're visiting college students or whatever. I'm a huge fan of the Canopy. So we went to the Canopy, and we checked in on Saturday. No big deal. Now here's the fun part. So you guys know I've been playing around with AI, trying to find useful things for it to be and to do, right? So I thought it might be fun. I've been using Claude lately because we have to use Claude at work, right? So I've been using Claude at home, and I said, you know what? Let's see how Claude is at planning the night, right? My wife had no clue. She didn't know anything was going on. So I basically told Claude we're going to be staying at the Canopy. We're staying overnight on a Saturday. What do you recommend that we do? We enjoy sort of a younger life, a younger nightlife sort of, thing. And he recommended places to eat, places to drink, right? I said we want to go bar hopping. We want to go to the more interesting bars, something really cool, maybe off the beaten track a little bit, something interesting. And then, so after going back and forth, so this is the thing about AI, right? You have to feed it shit before it gives you anything back. I love the concept that AI solves everything, but you have to feed it tons of information before it can actually do anything useful for you. So, it gave us a couple of bars to go to, which was cool. It gave us a couple of really great places to eat, as it turned out. And yeah, so they gave us, so the night was pretty straightforward. We went to this place called I think it's the Cutlery Dropout. Pretty cool place, neat place to eat, great food. And then we walked this whole area downtown Tempe. There's Mill Avenue and all this shit. So there's plenty of things to see. But here's something else that we did not know about when we first went down there is the Tempe Arts Festival is going on. We didn't know. So it's like just blocks and blocks of tents with art and food and all sorts of crazy shit. So it's kind of fun. It was fun to walk around and see that. And then after we went to eat, we went to our first bar, which was the Idle Hands, which is a speakeasy. By the way, I've learned all sorts of crazy shit, right? So what the fuck's the difference between a bar and a speakeasy? This is what you don't pay me for. I'm going to tell you some interesting shit. So it was the Devil's, what the fuck's the name of the place? Devil's Workshop or something. That's the name of the bar. That's the name of the bar. So everyone knows what a bar is. But what's a speakeasy then if a bar is a bar? So the speakeasy is usually a bar within the bar, very limited capacity, usually some sort of crazy theming, and it's usually has some sort of a hidden or secret entrance to get to it. Who even knew this shit was going on, right? I certainly did. So the idea was, and listen, Claude was very helpful in letting us know, listen, this Idle Hands place is very small, this speakeasy, very small, and, you're going to want to get there early if you even remotely plan on getting a seat. So we planned everything out to the nth degree, which normally my wife likes. So you go into this Devil's hangout, and then you make a right and a left, and then you can, wedge through this little tiny doorway, and you end up in the Idle Hands. And it's pretty cool, man. I mean, it was a cool bar. The back of the bar was like a big window, and behind the window was like an ever-changing magical forest. Look it up, Idle Hands, Tempe. So it was kind of cool. I mean, listen, everything's super expensive in downtown Tempe. It's just the way that it is. But you don't go out doing shit like this if you're planning on being on some sort of a budget. So went there and drank. We had a drink out in the Devil's Hangout. And then Claude suggested that we go to this place called the Low Key Piano Bar. Now, you guys know I have this weird karaoke background and history. Live music, love live music. I don't care. I mean, I probably wouldn't go to live country music, but I love live music. And it's one of those sort of by request dueling piano bars. Listen, shit, I hadn't been to one. Why not? Let's go. So we stopped in there, and their sort of signature, of course, outside of the, karaoke, not karaoke, but the dueling pianos request thing, is they have these things called, I think, bombers, and they're 40-ounce drinks. Things were fucking huge, and they were very tasty, by the way. So my wife and I shared one, and it's exactly what you think it is. But back in the day, karaoke was pretty low tech, right? You sat at a table, you had a bunch of pieces of paper and little pencils, right? Those little golf pencils, and you would fill in the song that you wanted to sing, and then you'd run it up there. Sometimes there would be people coming around to gather the slips. Totally different these days, totally high tech. Now, if you want, well, they did have that too, but if you want to request a song, you Venmo your tip using a QR code. Gotta love it. Technology kicks ass. Using a QR code, you Venmo your cash and the song and the artist that you want them to sing. And God bless them, they'll try it. They will try to fucking sing that song. Even if they don't know it, even if they haven't heard it in 20 fucking years, they made the effort. And there were two different groups of people. There was like I don't think it was a husband and wife, but they almost looked like they could have been in cahoots with each other. There were two groups. There was the man and the woman, a little older, and then there was a couple of young studly looking guys. Listen, they were there for the female audience, and they were really funny. They were really good, really talented. They will sing fucking anything. They would call people up that were having birthdays or anniversaries, and they would make them do terribly embarrassing things. Everybody had these 40-ounce fucking bomber drinks. It was a ton of fun. My wife, she was a little bored, but she said it was fun. It was fun to be there with you, not that it was fun to be there, right? So I guess, I don't know if we'll be going back, but so the woman had a pretty good voice at the first set, and basically they imply, for those of you who haven't been to one of these things, they imply that they would prefer music requests that are more sing-along style, right? So imagine things like Don't Stop Believing, right? Like every night at karaoke, there was always somebody singing that. There was always somebody singing certain songs at karaoke. Same thing here. So I thought I would throw a little curveball. And I said, how about Kylie Minogue's The Locomotion? Come on, that's a dancing, singing song, right? But it's also 40 fucking years old. And I guarantee you that when Kylie was shaking her ass in that song, the woman that was at the piano probably wasn't born, or she was still wiping her crap on her face. But yeah, and so what they do is you can tell when you send them something they don't know. Because while the other one is doing a song, the other one's like swiping through a phone, trying to find sheet music or trying to find the words. And you see they put a little earpiece in and they're listening to it to see if they can get it. And I'm like, okay, so she doesn't know the song, or maybe she knows. Everyone knows Locomotion, right? You just don't know what you don't know. And so I could see her trying to bob her head, and she's mouthing it, and then she tries it, and it's a brutal mess. God bless her soul, she tried, but it wasn't great. And so as they left the stage and they changed out the set, and the two studly guys came up, I went up to her and I said, hey, Locomotion was mine first, sorry. Second, thank you for being a good sport and trying it out. She's like, man, I haven't heard that song in so long. I know the song, but I couldn't. And I'm like, no, you did great. Thank you so much. I tipped well. So anyway. So that was fun. It was something completely different. Hadn't been to one. Different than karaoke. Different than a live band. So if you have something like that in your area, maybe check it out. Or if you're in Phoenix, low key piano bar, and it's down in this basement, which is kind of cool because the entrance looks like you're going somewhere you're not. Sort of like a speakeasy. You look like you're going somewhere where you're not supposed to go. Tons of fun. We had a good time. So we slept in super late on Saturday because we didn't roll in until 1 a.m. So we slept in, and Sunday we had no idea when to get there, what the fuck was going to happen, how long it was going to. We knew nothing about this Pride Pageant thing that we went to. Right, all we knew is that we were there to support Savannah Stevens, so that's why we went. So we get there, and we're there they tell you to get there an hour early, but there's zero people there. There's someone manning the bar, which was great. We got to get drinks. And then we basically sat around for 45 minutes. It's a first come, first seated thing. So it's a small, intimate venue, and there's no assigned seats. So you got general admission tickets, right? So you know what's going to happen. If you don't get there early, you're going to get a shitty seat. But then again, you don't know. We've never been. We don't know how many people are going to be here. It's on the city of frickin' Tempe's website. So you're thinking, okay, Mr. and Miss Pride pageant, probably not a big turnout, but it is Tempe. Don't know. So you don't know how many people are going to be there. Turns out there were enough people to be there to make it interesting, but there wasn't enough people to fill in the whole place. So there you go. So we got there, and it's like we're talking to the bartender, and we're like, "Hey, this is our first time. Got any idea? What should we expect?" And she's like, "Well, it's like a beauty pageant. They're gonna do like a formal wear thing. They're gonna ask a stupid question, and they're gonna answer in a stupid way, and then they're gonna be some sort of performances." So, okay, well, it's kind of what we signed up for, right? So. Anyway, so the show started at 4 p.m., which sounds weird on a Sunday at 4 p.m. for a pride pageant. I don't know. Whatever. Maybe it was cheaper that night. I don't know. But according to the bartender, she's like, "Oh, this could run till midnight." I'm like, "What? 4 to midnight? You lost your mind?" And she's like, "Oh, no, there's all sorts of pomp and ceremony and blah, blah, blah." And I'm going, shit. My wife's like, "We ain't staying until fucking midnight." And I'm like, "Yeah, we're not staying until midnight." But then everybody we asked later started saying it was less time. It was less time. Turned out it was somewhere around 4 hours, 4.5 hours. There's a lot of pomp and ceremony. You wouldn't believe that there would be a lot of, yeah, you would. You would believe there's a lot of pomp and ceremony at a pride pageant. But anyway, so there was, if you don't know what that sort of thing looks like, neither did we. So essentially there are two main categories, right? Mr. and Miss. Yes, there were some trannies involved, transvestites involved. So there were, but then there were some that were just gay, right? So it's Phoenix Pride. So you didn't have to be like flaming or anything, right? It's just like for the LGBTQ community to have some sort of thing, right? And right now, a friend of mine is turning his nose up right now, and I'm not going to say who it is, but he's like, "What the fuck are you doing? Going to a Phoenix Pride pageant?" It's fun. So anyway, so they had the men come out. Most of them were actually male. The men came out first, and they did their acts. So this could be singing, dancing, whatever, right? And they were okay. I mean, some of them were pretty cool. I've got some interesting video clips if you want to see them. They were okay. I mean, there was some clever shit going on. So it was like, okay, that's kind of cool. I hope it gets better, but that's kind of cool. And then it was the females, the Miss Pride pageant part. And they, I guess I better get over it. And they came out first with their formal wear piece, right? So they're all dressed up in the formal wear. They got to come out and get the stupid question: if you were crowned Miss Phoenix Pride, how would you use your title to advance the LGBTQ community? Blah, 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 blah. Boring as fuck, right? But we got through it, which is good. Because after that, we did the men's version of that, right? The Mr. Pride version. Then came the best part of the show, and they were smart to leave it at the end. It was the female talent portion. Dude, I am fucking impressed. I did not expect there to be like a production. I expected to see some drag queens coming out, maybe doing a little lip syncing, something like that. Oh no. No. These were like full-blown fucking productions, and I'm like, wow. I mean, they had like professional dancers out there with them and elaborate stages. Listen, I should have expected it, right? But you don't think about that. It was nuts. And every single act was almost like better than the next one. And you're sitting there going, and our girl hadn't been up yet. Savannah Stevens hadn't been up yet. And so the first two were just fucking phenomenal. And we're going, oh shit, I don't think she's going to win. Not with those two acts. There's no way. And then the third act came out, which was really lame. And I'm like, okay, starting to get a little bit better. And then, Savannah Stevens came out and did a fucking bang up job. But it was like right on par with the other two. So it was still like, we don't know. But listen, we did our part. We were there to support. We were screaming and shouting and stomping and clapping, doing all the stupid shit. By the way, we weren't the only ones there. There were plenty of other people screaming and shouting. We were completely hoarse by the next day, by the way. But it was fun. And then, of course, there's all this turnover shit, like last year's winners have to be walked off the stage, and it just there's a lot of, like I said, pomp and ceremony. But it was still fun. I mean, it was still interesting, but maybe not as interesting as it could be. So what are you doing here? Am I gonna get fucking hit? I'm going over this one. Fuck it. Go ahead and hit me. Whatever. So then, of course, came the big close, right? Everybody gets there. They give a couple of runner-ups. They give, best performance, best answer. Everyone, listen, it's Phoenix Pride, right? So you get everybody to get some sort of an award. But not everybody did, but there was a lot of them. But believe it or not, this was crazy. Our girl won. She won. And, I mean, she almost passed out. I got the whole thing on tape, but on video recorded. She almost passed out. And we lost our shit. We were screaming and yelling and jumping up and down. It was fun. I don't know what else to tell you. But anyway, she won the crown, so that was fun. And that's what we were there to do. The rest of the drinking and the boozing and the, all the other stuff was just a bonus. Like I said, we had some great food, had some great booze, had some great entertainment. It was a fun weekend. And then we came back on Monday. We came back on Monday and did nothing. We literally did fucking nothing all day on Monday. We didn't do anything. We just laid around, slothy, didn't do anything. So that was the holiday for us. So anywho, so let's talk video game shit, because I know people keep coming in and out and you don't want to hear about fucking Phoenix Pride pageant. Let's talk about video games for a minute. So everyone's all abuzz about Crimson Desert, right? Crimson Desert already out for Game of the Year, blah blah blah. 2 million copies sold, blah blah blah. The amount of hype is absolutely unbelievable for this game, this Crimson Desert. Now, first of all, it's right up my alley, right? Huge open world, bajillions of things to do, right? It looks like a Shane R. Monroe game, but the little fuckers, after they had the embargo lifted and they let the handful of YouTubers that they brought to pre-test or play-test the game, take video footage and all that shit back to YouTube, after that all got revealed and everybody started getting all jacked up, all of a sudden they dropped the boot. And the boot is Denuvo. So they didn't put Denuvo anywhere on that Steam page. Got tons of pre-orders. It was pre-sales, fucking nirvana. Everybody was fucking pre-ordering, blah blah blah. And then, like, after all of the fucking hubbub, they slapped the Denuvo protection right on the page, and everybody, including me, had a fucking shit attack. So I basically said, I warned my viewers, and I said, listen, this thing's got Denuvo, and for some of you, that doesn't matter. For some of you, other of you, that will be a deal breaker. And I said, not going to buy it. My rule on Denuvo is very simple. Either you take it off, if you want my money, either take it off or drop it to half price. Once it gets to be half price, if you still want to have Denuvo on it, I will consider. If I really want it, I'll pick it up. If not, fuck, I'll wait. I can wait out Denuvo. And you know what? If you wait too long on the Denuvo, I'll wait for the High Seas copy to come out. And if the High Seas copy beats your Denuvo free version, you will not get any of my money. So there you go. So a lot of people were like, pirate code, blah, blah, blah. You just want it for free. It's like, no, I was ready to drop $70 on it today, but I'm not buying it with Denuvo on it. Not going to happen. So here's the funny part. The oddball part. Are you going to try to get in there? Go. Hurry up. Go, 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 go. I'm going to miss this green light. Are you going to go? Nope. Okay. That's up to you. You had your chance, pal. So here's an interesting side story to that. So a coworker of mine, bumped into her 2 or 3 times. We don't work on the same team. I don't work with her directly. She doesn't work with me directly. We just happen to be friendly. That's it. And so she says, "Oh, hey, Shane." And I'm like, "Can I help you?" And she's like, "You play video games, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And she's like, "I just bought a new video card, and it comes with this game called Crimson Desert. Are you interested?" Now, this was before I knew it had Denuvo on it, okay? I said, yeah, it's on my wish list. I'm ready to go. It's out in a few weeks, so as soon as it comes out, yeah, I'm in. And she goes, "Would you like my copy? Because I'm not..." She bought a new video card, not to play video games, but for fucking AI shit. So she has no video gaming, nothing. She has no, she's like, "Just want to take it." I'm like, "Well, shit. Yeah, send me the key. I'll take the key." Now, for those of you who've ever bought a video card and got a free game with it, you know there's no fucking key involved. Therein lies the interesting story. So now this was weeks and weeks ago, and she says, here's the link to get the key, or to get the game. And so she sends me this link over. Now, again, she's had no fucking prior history with this, none whatsoever. So she doesn't know what she's doing. She sends me the link. I click the link, and it takes me to some fucking AMD website that says, "Oh, you don't have an AMD video card that matches this deal." So I write her back. So this is a back and forth deal. I write her back, and I'm like, "Hey, it's locked to your video card. So can you click the link, and then you can get the key and give me the key?" "Why aren't you in the turn lane, asshole?" And so she clicks it, and so, of course, she doesn't get a key. She gets a redemption code that takes her to some third-party website where she redeems the code, but it still doesn't give her a key. It gives her an email that says, "We'll contact you when the game comes out, and then you can get the game." So I'm like, okay, well, this is never going to work out. She's never going to end up getting me the key. And then the Denuvo thing hit, so I'm like, great, I'm not out $70. Perfect. This will work out great for everybody. And so the game comes out, and she reaches out to me, and she goes, "Do you still want the game?" And I'm like, yeah, okay. If I don't have to pay for it, if it's free... listen, I was willing to buy it if it was half price with Denuvo. Why shouldn't I agree to get it when it's free with Denuvo? Plus, it gives me an opportunity to let you guys know what I think of the game. So I was looking at it, not from a selfish point of view, mind you, but for a YouTube review point of view. Anyway, so she's like, I'm like, "Yeah, just send the key on over. I'm happy to redeem it." She goes, let me give you access to my Steam account. And I'm like, whoa, I don't want access to your Steam account. I said, "That's just too weird. She's like, "Well, they wouldn't let me, the only way they would let me get the game was to redeem it to a Steam account." So she had to make a Steam, she didn't have a Steam account. She had to make a Steam account to get the game. And then she basically gave me her login and password. And I'm like, "You know what? I feel weird. I feel weird about this." And she's like, No. Just go in there. I don't use it. I've never used Steam. I just made the account, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, fuck. That's too much. That's too weird. No, that's okay. It's okay. And she's like, No. Just take it. Just go in there, change the email, change the phone number, and just keep the account. And I'm like, listen, I was completely resistant to this shit, but eventually she just insisted, and I'm like, okay. So I took the account, I changed the password, I changed the display name, I changed the phone number. And as a bonus, get this, not only did it happen to have Crimson Desert on the account, but apparently her video card also entitled her to a copy of Resident Evil Requiem, brand new fucking $70, $80 game. So I'm like, well, shit, okay. Now, here's the part, though. I've always wondered why people were willing to buy a game that was on somebody else's Steam account, because you see this all the time. If you go to allgamekeys.com or whatever it is, you can buy a Steam account that has the game on it. I'm not sure what the fuck, right? I mean, who wants to do that? Who wants to go in and change accounts, and then you have to worry about somebody getting back in. I don't want to do that. But it all worked out in the end, because what I ended up doing was adding her account. Oh, by the way, this is something interesting. You'll like this. You can't join somebody's Steam family if you have a limited account or a new account. I didn't know about this. So she had made the account, but the only thing that she had on it were those 2 free games. So Steam had her marked as limited. So my idea was, I'll just have her join my Steam family, and I'll get access to her games. And I don't have to log in as her, right? I don't have to change accounts. I don't have to flip-flop. I don't have to worry about any bullshit. I'll just add her into my Steam family, and I'll get access to her games. And believe it or not, that almost worked out. But limited account, can't do it. I'm like, God damn it. So it turns out, and this is brilliant on Valve's part, whether you love Valve or hate Valve, this is brilliant. Your account stays in a limited status for, I think it's 2 weeks. 2 weeks, and you have to have a $5 purchase on the account. That's genius. So she had made the account weeks before, that worked in my favor. But I had to go in and buy something for $5 in order to delimit her account, so then I could add her to my Steam friends. It would have been easier to spend the $70, folks, but fuck de nouveau. So anyway, eventually I got it. I installed the game, and I've had an opportunity to put 5 or 6 hours into it. So what do I think? I've got a few minutes before I get to the store, so I'm going to give you a quick rundown of Crimson Desert. First off, the game looks great. The game is fucking dense. And when I say dense, I mean there is shit everywhere. There are people, there's NPCs everywhere, there are animals everywhere, there are, the map is just fucking packed with shit, which again, that rubs me right. I'm all about that. Now, I'm still early, I'm still like 6 hours in, but it turns out that I don't think that this is inaccurate. The writing, the quests, crap. I have been so fucking spoiled with Witcher 3. I cannot get excited about games that have basic, shitty, mediocre writing. And that's what Crimson Desert has. Shitty, mediocre writing. But now I know what you're saying. You're saying, Shane, I don't care about the story. I just want to kill shit. I want to hack shit up. I want to fight shit. I want to go exploring shit. I don't care about the story. It's all going to be fetch quests anyway. You're going, yeah, okay. Well, here's the problem. And if you haven't been following the trades, it's a common thing. The controls are complete ass. Now, a lot of people, when Witcher 3 came out, bitched about the controls on Witcher 3. So much so that like a year after the thing came out, they actually created an alternative move set for Witcher 3. But here's the fun part. The developer, was it Pearl Abyss that makes this Crimson Desert? They basically got on social media and said, it's not really our problem, it's your problem. You get used to the controls and it'll be just like riding a bike. You'll be fine. And it's like, dude, everybody on the fucking planet is bitching that you have the shittiest control scheme of all time. You have to have like a 3-button combo to talk to an NPC. No shit. I wish that were hyperbole, but it's not. Terrible controls. The combat's kind of fun. It's kind of fun, but the controls for the combat are fucking wonky. All the controls are wonky. You almost can't believe that this got released as an actual game with these fucking wonky ass controls. So finally, the Pearl Abyss developers like, okay, oh, you got us, okay, we'll fix the controls. So apparently there's a patch either out now or coming out that's supposed to fix the controls or make the controls better. Christ, who knows? But yeah, I'm telling you, like, it's the cusp of something great, but it can't get out of its own fucking way. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it looks great. The world is so packed full of shit. I want to just run around and explore and look shit. but the actual quests and the storyline is just ass, right? So Crimson Desert, no pass for me yet, but it's not without its merit. And over time, I'm thinking that Crimson Desert could actually maybe be saved. It could be salvageable, especially if they drop the price to like $49. $49, I'd say take the chance. The controls are going to get patched. It's crashed on me one time, which isn't bad for these days anyway. So it's crashed one time. But one of the things that really bothers people, and I'm at the store now, so I've got to wrap this up. One of the things that really bothers people about Crimson Desert is it doesn't hold your hand. And I was like, so what does that mean exactly? It doesn't hold your hand. Does it mean that there's no map, there's no quest markers, there's none of that shit? What do you mean by not hold your hand? What does that mean? Well, there are quest markers and there's directionals. There's no GPS, but I mean, you know where to go. They tell you where to go, but like it doesn't really tell you how to get there or what to do. And there are times when you're working through the puzzles. There's like 2 or 3 puzzles early on. And you're kind of doing these puzzles and you're going, I have no fucking clue what you want. Within the first 3 hours, I had to look up something in a walkthrough because there wasn't enough data on the fucking screen to tell me what to do. And the fact that there's a walkthrough and a necessary walkthrough, like 2 hours into the game, 3 hours into the game, somebody fucking failed, right? That's what that means. So I kind of got discouraged, went back to playing Overwatch. A bunch of my friends are back playing Overwatch now that they've stopped being Overwatch 2. So yeah, and I've been playing Planet Crafter, Toxicity or Toxic, what is it? Toxic, whatever. Anyway, I've been playing the shit out of that. So, but yeah, Crimson Desert, don't let the FOMO get you. Let it relax a little bit. Let it simmer down now. And I think it will become worth owning at some point. But right now, I'd give it a pass. Just hold off and let them fix the shit and you'll be good. All right, that's it for me. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Shane R. Monroe, Pastor Z Radio. We'll see you next time. Take care, everybody.